Hey, you guys. Sorry. I am having technical difficulties once again because that's what we do here. Thanks for being here, everyone. I'm going to turn this way so I can see my screen. Tonight is going to be
Work.
what?
Oh my God, I'm not muted.
No,
Sorry.
you're what?
Well,
Did you?
one, I was saying it to myself, but I was gonna say, I did. I don't think it works in StreamYard for me. Like Nightbot doesn't like me until I'm actually on panel. If I'm still backstage trying to type in the chat, it says no, you can't.
Yes, I can.
So,
Crime Sleuthin, thanks for being here. K Braze, my friend. Who is Johhny BlackHawk? Well, Johhny BlackHawk and his family are here to speak with us again tonight. Some might know him as Mike G. He did interviews about Rachel Morin. His daughter was the one that successfully did a search and rescue. Search and recovery, I would say, on Rachel Morin. And he's been here helping the community. Hi, Carol Claus. He's been here helping the community daily on the trail, patrolling the trail. His wife is going to be with us tonight, and they're just going to be talking about things for the future, things that they both have observed, how they're dealing, how they've been affected, what they would want, and how basically how what we can do to help. Um, he's been just amazing, 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 amazing. He goes to the trail daily. Um, he went today. He was there for about 3 hours, patrolling by himself, and I'm going to let him tell you about that. But how was your day, LFT?
it was okay. It was good. Hope everyone else has had a good Sunday and
No,
a
I
nice
hope so.
weekend.
I hope so too. Happy birthday again, just because it's the weekend and we can.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, I don't think my StreamYard, I don't think my thing's working. I may have to sign out and come back in a second, but just
Why? What's going on?
FYI. It's still stuck at, like, I don't see any of the chat.
I
I
don't see
see
the
my
chat either.
assistant
Hold on a
chatting, but it
second.
won't let me.
I don't see the chat either, actually, now that you mentioned that. You go out and come back in and then take over so I can go out and come back in.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, cool.
BRB. Wait, what is it?
BRB. Hang on,
Oh, where's
Johhny.
the word? Okay.
We got some technical difficult. What? Just go out and come back in. Good gravy. Hang on, Johhny. I'll be right with you. We're having some technical difficulties. We can't seem to see the chat. Let me log into YouTube as well and see if that helps a little bit. We just had the most amazing conversation with Johhny prior to, and I'm so lucky, you guys, because not only is he local to me, but in less than a week, I think. I think we met like last Tuesday, last Wednesday, something like that. We have just become fast friends. And he's been, okay, there's LFT. He's just been amazing. LFT, did that help at all?
Okay, now let me check at it and do anything.
I'm trying to
It's not
log
going to come
in.
back up. Oh, yes, I think it. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that helped.
Okay, good.
Hey,
I'm gonna
I
pop.
couldn't see anything.
Okay, I'm gonna pop out and pop back in as well because I.
Oh, gracious. Is that Matt? Oh, I hope she's not popping off while my internet's messing up. This is amazing. I love it when I get to play by myself up here for a bit. Hey, y'all, I would look at the chat more. Okay, wait, hold on. Delana, Frigidaire, Nightbot, Pointer, Ava, Hey Chef, Mallory, Butterfly Kisses, Mary Jane Doe, Take Praise. Oh my God, did I get everybody? I don't,
Oh my
if anyone's
goodness
typing in chat,
gracious, you guys! I'm so
I
sorry.
can't even see it.
I didn't realize who was in here and how many people, and I feel terrible. I'm so. Hi, Mal, Pointer Lover, Carol Claus, Petunia. Oh my God,
Oh,
our
wait, see, I
stream
don't see any, I don't see those.
Shifty. Um,
Wait, someone put a one in chat if y'all can hear me. I just want to see
we
if it
can hear
shows
you.
up.
It's not.
Put,
It's not
I,
that. It's.
I
It's.
know, I just want to see if a one shows up if someone hits it, if mine's really delayed.
You are delayed.
Okay,
Um,
that answers the
you saw
question.
Big Pig being born today. That's awesome. Delana,
And
Crime Sleuth, and Mary Jane Doe. Thank you. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to bring my friend Johhny up.
Hey, everybody.
There he
How's
is.
everybody doing tonight? Thank you
I,
guys for being here once again
good,
with
how
us.
are you?
Good.
yeah. Hi, Ava. Thank you guys for being here, and thank you, Johhny, for joining us yet again. I told you that he's been referred to on some interviews as Mike G. I'm going to refer to him as Johnny BlackHawk. That's his name. That's what he prefers, and that's what we respect him as. So you may know him from another name, but this is a name that we refer to him as. It is his Native American name, and that's how we choose to identify. So you may know him from some other interviews and other channels may have interviewed him. Hi, Inspector Gadget. So Johhny, I know we're going to talk with your beautiful other half here soon. And she's going to be talking about some of the things with your daughter. And oh, I love this, Eva. We were just talking about this. Look at that feather. Yes.
Yes.
So some of the things we wanted to talk about tonight were okay, those were her notes. Those were her notes. Oh, so Johhny went to the trail today. You want to tell us about how that went?
I went to the trail about, what was it, about 1 o'clock Tia, maybe around 1 o'clock.
Yep.
And walked the whole trail, and I felt unsafe myself. I really did today, because there was nobody on the trail. Like I said, I mean, I'm not trying to down law enforcement, but they need more patrols on that trail. There are not enough. You know, that gator comes through, you know, I guess, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that I feel that there's no real law enforcement presence on that trail.
How
You
long
know,
were you on the trail? Because I know you messaged me at one point and said you were on the trail for some time before you saw anybody.
about 3 hours.
That's amazing.
About 3 hours, give or take. But I was also approached by some of our community members, you know,
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah, and they were saying that they were coming to me for answers. Why aren't the cameras put up? Why aren't, do we have any new information? Do you know why, the security is becoming less and less?
Mm-hmm.
This isn't me talking now. This is the community talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I go down there to make sure that my community is safe. I walk that trail
Mm-hmm.
because now that I've been down there almost every day since this happened, it's been eerie to say the least, because you have all these little spider web trails that come off of this main trail,
Right.
and they snake everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't mean to bring it up, but the place where Rachel was found is a big 300-foot tunnel. Then you go another probably 200 yards, and then there's another 300-yard tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like these tunnel systems go on forever. You could run these tunnel systems without being there and being, detected.
So we had talked about potential. We talked behind the scenes a little bit. We mentioned it the other night when you were live with us. But one of the things that we have been talking about is how we think the perpetrator got in and out without being seen. Do you want to talk about that for a minute? Because you brought up the tunnels, and I think that's important. I know we've been trying to kind of keep that under wraps, but at this point, what's the point?
Right. The tunnel systems is how I believe that he made his exit, because he did not come back out on the trail. And there's another thing with that tunnel system. You have water to where you can wash yourself off.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you did come back out on that trail, you could wash yourself off and wash everything off before you came out.
Mm-hmm.
And you would remain protected anyway, because you'd be somebody just walking down the trail at that point.
Yep.
I mean,
So
I was
eerie.
down there all day. I was down there all day, and I mean, within that span of time that I was down there, I mean, if I was really on that wrong side of the tracks, I could have really did some damage today.
Really?
Oh yeah. I mean, there wasn't that many people walking through. There was, I seen women with head muffs on their heads, Tia. The ones that we were talking about the other night.
Yep.
And I went to say hi to the woman when she walked by me, and she just walked by me like she didn't even hear me. It's like nobody's taking heed to any of these warnings.
Well,
they're still
the
going
sheriff himself did say it is not safe out there. This guy's still out there, and that could be that's
it's really in the community.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the community even more. I mean, to me.
Let me answer Crime Sleuthin really quick. Crime Sleuthin, no, Johhny did not attend the funeral today. We had a discussion about it. We talked about going, and we thought it was really meant for Rachel's family.
Right.
Although they did put it out to the public, and I know that they had a beautiful turnout. In my opinion, I think Johhny's opinion was the same. We wanted to offer respect to the family.
Right. That's family time. That's not our time.
I agree.
If we wanted the more public to be involved, we should have like little rallies and little vigils. You understand?
So let's talk about that. You've been pretty boisterous about what you think should happen in this area. This is your community and your home. It's mine too.
Right.
But what are the things you had come up with? Some really awesome ideas you told LFT and myself, but I want to finish telling us about the tunnels, number one, and then I want to talk about some of the things that you want to happen.
Those tunnel systems, you could still hide in those tunnel systems. And then if you look at that trail it goes all the way out to Route 1.
Uh-huh.
The Winners Run Road. And basically, you got the old landfill back there. On the other side of Route 1, it's all forest. There's no houses over there. It's just wide open. The trail is
Right.
6.25 miles at its full length. And in between there is probably maybe, I'd say, at least 100 acres of forest.
Oh yeah. I agree.
And we lost LFT, I think.
I know. I'm texting her right now.
But yeah, those tunnels could be utilized to go in and out, and I honestly think that if he needed to come out and get supplies, that he would do it at night, because the graveyard shift doesn't really pay attention to people when they walk in the stores and stuff, because they're doing their work. They have to get stuff done before the other shift comes in. They're just looking to make their
Right.
sale and let the guy move on. And the picture, I want to touch down on the video too, because everybody's talking about how this guy had a certain haircut, but
Right.
that was back in March. How do we know his hairstyle is the same as it is now? He could look totally different from that video now. He could have grew out a beard. He could have grew his hair out. There's so many possibilities with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that video, I feel, is like ineffective because it's only a side profile.
Well, one of the things you talked about too is where's the composite sketch of why hasn't there been?
California has seen his face.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't the LA cops giving us any kind of composite sketch?
Right.
Or the Harford County Sheriff giving us a composite sketch from LA so we can put it out there in the mainstream media so we can get this guy caught.
I don't think they have one. I legitimately don't think they have one. I don't think there's.
Yeah, but they need to get one. I mean, this girl has seen his face. All they have to do is go to the girl and say, hey, what did he look like? How big was he? What do you think he weighed? Is there any distinguishing marks, scars, tattoos on the front of him? We don't even know that. We only saw the back of him. He could have tattoos on his chest. He could have distinguishing marks, scars, anything.
Right.
He could have a deformed finger, for all you know. Right?
Right.
So there's a lot of descriptions that we still do not have, a lot of information that is still pretty much up in the air when it comes to this case.
Oh God, I know. Somebody was asking about community meetings, and I was just looking up some, but we are going to be doing, I'm not going to touch a whole lot on that right now. I'm swinging my chair back and forth because Johhny already knows where it's being taken care of. It's being handled. We're working on it. We are working on it, but we're going to get Johhny in front of the right people at the right time so that he can talk. Here's the thing.
I mean, I'm sorry, Tia.
No, that's quite all right.
We could have our own community meetings. We don't need a community hall. Everybody meet at the trailhead, certain time, certain day, and discuss all of our ideas. Discuss where we're going from here. Discuss how we're gonna, all pull together and put this guy into justice. That's what needs to happen right now.
I agree. Crime Sleuth and Johhny's going to be the one. Johhny's leading this, and I am just backing him. And the reason that we're talking about it that way specifically is because he was so poorly portrayed in the media initially and so disrespected that I won't have it anymore. So I want him to use his voice. I want his better half, as I like to call her, Margot. She's amazing. I like to have her use her voice and talk about things and use our platform and friends and family, and that way we can get it out. But I want him, because he was the one that was portrayed, because he was the one, frankly, that was accused of murder. I'm not going to lie. He was accused in our community of murder.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that on social media. This guy would be looked at, he's a drug head. I mean, I'm sitting here, and I'm looking at these comments, and I'm like, you guys are missing the bigger picture. Because in our community, if they wouldn't have found her that day, they would have kept lollygagging around. Those 2 storms would have ripped through, and everything would have been washed. Everything would have been gone. So everybody needs to look at that instead of looking at me and how I look, and start taking a look inside people instead of looking at their exterior shells.
I agree. And Eva just said something. I think also helping people understand native tracking abilities may help. I've been learning about that myself.
That's a good one. I mean, I can do a class on that. I'll do that for free for my community. I would be honored to do that.
We'd be honored to host you and have you do that and have that broadcast all over. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Like I was talking about before this, keep our park safe. We could do that too, because, we could put pictures of people that we think make us uncomfortable and unsafe on this one platform on Facebook, and at least if something happens in that said certain park or trail, we have their picture on that platform, on that website. So we would be able to have a picture going along with that DNA to be able to show law enforcement, look, this is the guy that was on the trail that was doing blah, 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 exposing himself or, made unsafe by approaching them, and that platform is set up for, it's going to be set up for when, if you see something, say something. If you feel unsafe, you feel uncomfortable, you feel like you're being watched, call law enforcement. But I'll also let that platform know what area you're in to raise awareness for the other women in the area. And that's what that platform will serve.
And I think right now, even talking about a composite, like say you have a platform where even if you didn't necessarily utilize an image of a person, you can be like, obviously, most likely in a Facebook group, it'll come in as whatever name you have, and not. But you could be like, give a description of the person or what made you feel uncomfortable, and then if something were to happen, when law enforcement looks back, they're looking at like, oh my gosh, these people, we need to contact them. It looks like based on their descriptions of what they said in a chat or something, makes it seem like obviously they saw the person. So it would be easier to even find someone to create a sketch potentially, just trying to say like, if you're not, I don't know, playing the other side of that amazing idea. It's just saying like, if it's not a picture, make sure it's a description or something, and that way it's noted, and eventually Ellie could figure out who was the one that posted it and be able to go to that person to be able to get more information.
Let's go back to that LFT, because honestly, everybody, this is Margot. This is my daughter's mother right
here. Hi, beautiful. Thanks for joining us tonight. Look at you. Oh, thanks for being with us, love. Oh, I'm so happy.
No problem. I couldn't get there in time. Trying to get myself together and get the kids ready. His nephews are going to school for the first time tomorrow. So
how exciting!
Will help. And they will pick us also. So.
Yeah, they're like my little children.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. Well, thank you for being here with us. Hold on, everyone's saying hello to you. How are you holding up? How are you? Where are you? What LFT? I'm sorry, love.
Ups and downs. I mean, I've been in the middle of him being all upset, and then my daughter just being a mess. She's afraid to be by herself. I mean, before that, she was so independent, nothing scared her.
Right.
But now, oh my
Hello,
goodness.
Beautiful Margot, hand pink waving.
But I mean, I'm the one that's been falling apart on a regular basis, because I know I can't imagine what this family's feeling. And, and these children, I have a hard time with that.
I know.
And I just wish we could change the incident and have it never happen, but unfortunately we can't.
I know.
And just trying to be strong for everybody else.
Well, you can't pour from an empty cup. And I said that to Johhny today. You got to be strong for you. You can't pour from an empty cup.
Right, but that energy that I had earlier was just frustration.
I know.
He was in shock. That's why he had no filters and just said everything, because he just
I was frustrated earlier today, though.
Yeah, you were really upset.
Yeah,
because you go down to that trail and it's still like a ghost town.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever happened down there.
But there's still tons of people walking.
Now, when he was there at one point, there was nobody there.
But that might just be because of the funeral and stuff today. Maybe that's the reason why they were there.
I understand that part, but the people that aren't involved with the family, and usually it was 300-400 people walking that trail a day, LFT.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting maybe like 40-50 people walk the trail in like an 8 to 10 hour period.
I would like to have the area, the neighborhood specifically right there, talk to the police and have a meeting and be able to discuss what would you like on the trail. I know the police are traveling the trail, but in my opinion, it's not enough.
Okay.
I understand they can't put a whole force down there. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But, even if they have, the state park, what are they called? The state
park rangers.
Park rangers, somebody else. They ride through, but nobody gets off of those little motorized things and walk around. And from the trail, you can't see any of those nooks and crannies.
No, that's what Johhny's been doing. He's been going down all the deer trail and all of the side trails and looking around and kind of tracking basically the Native American way, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's been teaching me that since we've been together.
That's amazing. Can you do me a favor, Margot, in the best way you can, describe not only how you're doing? I know you talked about your daughter's not doing well. You talked about Johhny and how he's handled things, but give us start from the beginning, the day it happened, and how you're doing from then to now, how things went. You don't have to go into detail like we talked about, but what you want to give away, what you'd like to talk about.
You put me in a spot.
Well, I don't want to put you in a spot now. I want to make sure that if you're comfortable. So if there's anything if you say nope, then say no. That's okay too.
Yeah.
Tia, did you see that comment before that? What about a volunteer trail group? Like a community watch. Somebody
that would be awesome.
Security officers out there. I love it.
That's
good idea.
I envision like the 1950s or I don't know, pick your era. But literally, if law enforcement if it isn't like a literally county thing, it's like literally local, like everyone, who's the house, like tonight's meeting is at so-and-so's house down the street, and everyone, it's when you pick the hours. Like I'll be on watch from the here to here. I don't know.
I would love to start a volunteer trail group. Okay. I'll head it up. I'll help secure that trail if need be.
Right.
I have no problem
in the meantime.
Right.
That would be
right.
Because
if I could get some volunteers to help me, we could make that happen. Just along with the community meetings. There's porta potties at the top of the trailhead. So we could have our community, or we could even meet an independent brewery right in front of the trailhead.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Sleuth Mom said they have 911 help buttons every so many 100 feet on the trail there. I think that's brilliant. That's what we need. Something like that where you can
like a call box. Hey, I'm having trouble. It could be down to a woman taking a walk who's, pregnant and all of a sudden going to labor.
If they put one in elevators, if they can put one in elevators, they could spare some on some national, even local trails.
I agree.
They need to do that in all the national parks and all the national trails then, and the state parks. Because, this problem in America is getting worse on these national parks and trail systems.
Yes.
Especially if you don't get good cell service and wherever it's utilized or set up in remote areas, it's set up so that, a call will go through to the right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why the day that everything happened and my daughter and her friend walked in a separate direction and he went in another direction to check other times. And as soon as she saw Rachel, she got on her phone and started calling him, but he wasn't hearing her. And she was so frustrated. She called me at, hysterical. And I had to call him to get, I guess it was where she was and where he was. So if we had panic buttons or something so that there is no, you won't get service. That's kind of like a nightmare. You have an emergency and you try to call, either you can't find your phone or, whatever those bad dreams are. But that.
Oh, God, yeah.
And there's a lot of feral people in America at this point because of all the price going up and that price of living.
People losing their jobs.
Right, exactly. You're getting a lot more homeless influx.
And after COVID, a lot of people, if they didn't have problems with addiction or alcohol problems, that monster came out. And a lot of people fell behind and got caught up in things that they got rid of before. And I know a lot of people lost their jobs, depression. But a lot of that goes with what's going on.
I agree. I agree. I do agree. So you and Johhny have come up with some great ideas. One of them we've talked about is the KOPS, which is Keep Our Parks Safe.
Right.
And we're going to start it out, I think, as a Facebook group, but may do a actual website for it. I think that might be the way to go. Like you said, having it available.
Right. Like a national database. One that would touch all lower 48 states, if not all 52 states.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you have state parks in every state. You have national parks in every state, nook and cranny in the United States.
Right.
You got lots of big, wide open swaths of land that is, they're desolate and they're isolated, and that's where these things happen.
But, you gotta have, good Lord, if you're on the trail and you get attacked by a cougar, any of this, let alone somebody following you, maybe you can stop something before it happens.
Right. If you feel uncomfortable, like Johnny's been saying, if you see something, say something. I want to let everyone know tonight that you will see our Cash App and our Venmo scrolling at the bottom. And if you know us, you know that we don't do this very often. There's a really good reason for it. The really good reason is Margot and Johnny's daughter. And what we're doing is we're trying to collect funds so that she can go to a specific trauma counselor. I don't want her to go to any old Tom, Dick, or Harry and talk about the things that she's seen. She has got very specific trauma and PTSD that she's dealing with. And there's a number of good people in the area, and I've been in touch with one. And unfortunately, insurance isn't going to pay for this type of thing. So we're asking people nicely, respectfully, if you would please like to donate. There's our Venmo and our Cash App. I've already spoken to Johhny, and he was very adamant with me that I said, hey, I'm going to get you this money because we collected some the other night as well. And he said, you will not. You will pay directly to, you will not hand me anything.
Right.
So they're very adamant on the counselor getting the money.
Yes.
Right.
Specifically for my daughter and her friend.
Right.
And because he's, I don't know him that well, but apparently he does not want to go anywhere. He's a nervous wreck.
He's in the same boat she's in,
Right.
and they made a pact that they would go to counseling together to work through this.
Right. That was what they discussed, because my daughter, when they were walking, because she feels empathic. I don't know what you want to call it, but she goes, she's over there and points to where the tunnels were. In fact, I don't even think they could see it from where they were. And they both stopped and said, if we see anything, please go to counseling with me. And they made a pact. And of course, they walked up and saw her, and
the rest has been history. But if anybody would like to donate, the money goes directly to the counselor. We'll provide any and all receipts, but I can tell you today that when I did try and say, hey, I'm going to give you this, do you have a Cash App? Johhny said, nope. And I said, that's fine. I'll just give you cash. And he said, nope, you're going to give it right to the counselor.
So we don't want anybody to think this is for us. This is not. This is strictly for the two that went through this.
Right.
And it's for Rachel's family and her children.
Right.
Like I said before, if I lead any information to law enforcement and this guy gets convicted and that reward money comes up, it's going right to her children.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going in my pocket.
No.
Because
said that since the second I met him.
Yeah.
The second.
My daughter also said that too.
Yeah.
She goes, if they offer me anything, it's going to her children.
Because it's not about us. It's about these children. It's about Rachel. It's about Rachel's family finding closure and being able to go on with the rest of their lives, knowing that Rachel's at peace now, and the killer is behind bars. That would give them big relief right now. But I think they're just like everybody else because this guy's still on the loose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Her family's in danger too. I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, I worry. I'm a worry wart, so I worry for everybody. But I just want to get the proper help, and that's why when you said, "Oh, the county is and I'm like, the count. This
maybe we come up with a fund too to get the cameras put on the trail.
If we need to.
If we can't get it through the county, we'll have to do it ourselves. I've even heard some people talk about they don't want cameras up down on that trail because it violates their privacy.
Then don't go on the trail.
Right, anywhere you go in public anymore, you're being surveilled. So what's the difference if you're on a nature trail?
That's right. Carol Claus, thank you so much. Yes, I will make sure that Johhny gets this for his daughter and Margot's daughter. Look at that. Thank you very, very much. That was really generous and kind.
Thank you, Carol freaking Claus.
Yeah. Isn't that a fun name?
Wild thing, Carol freaking Claus. That's a long one.
I love that.
It's a long. Hi, Thistle. Thank you guys for being in here. If you're just coming in now, this is Mr. and Mrs. BlackHawk and their daughter, along with Johhny. Now Johhny didn't find Rachel Morin, and he never said he has. I need to square that away. Never ever once said he has, but his daughter unfortunately did. And what we're doing tonight is we are not collecting for ourselves. We don't typically collect for ourselves. When we collect, we try to give forward. And tonight is about their daughter and getting her the right trauma therapy. I'm very grateful for everyone in this chat. I get awkward when we start talking about money on YouTube because people are weird and they start assuming things, and I don't want that to happen. I'm very, like I said, I'm very protective of this family and the things that they've done.
Well, I didn't want to collect it because I didn't want to give anybody the wrong idea. You know what I mean? That's why I didn't take the money, because I don't want it. I want it for my daughter and her well-being and her counseling. You know, that's worrying me the most right now.
It's very commendable.
You know, my daughter's scared to go out right now, you know, which drives my heel to go out here and look for this guy to put her mind at ease. You know, just at least do my part in the community. You know, step up and do, you know, what I can to bring this guy in, you know. I mean,
and
we have
don't
nothing.
Want anybody else to go through this. If we can stop this guy before he does this again.
Right. Yeah. Because the sheriff already said he will strike again.
I know.
You know, I've said that before myself.
Right.
You know, I know that this guy is ramping up. This is how these things start. You know, you get away with one so easily and you start getting addicted to it. And you want to do it more and more and more and more.
And we don't know if he's done something like this before besides the young girl.
That's right.
In California. But we don't know if he has done this or attacked other women.
Right. Because we have no DNA that matches up to any other cases.
And it's scary because you have no idea what this man's face looks like.
I know.
Yeah. And I mean, you can judge anybody with dark skin and, you know, that looks a certain way, but you don't want to do that.
Right.
I did comment on the feed the other night, on another feed, I think it was. One woman said that she's carrying down the trail now. And to me, that's totally wrong, because if you see a guy that matches his description and not him, people are going to get shot for the wrong reasons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because people are scared right now. People are in fear. They're looking over both their shoulders, you know, and they're ready to shoot their gun and ask questions later.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, I mean, this guy is brutal. This guy is vicious. You know, no matter if you have a gun or not, he could still overpower you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the last thing you want is other unfortunate incidences to happen. You know what I mean? Out of fear. You want it to be done safely and appropriately, and not have people jump on their,
That's why I told them to carry bear spray, because it shoots 40 feet.
But it ain't going to kill you.
But it ain't going to kill you, but it will disable you to where you can't see. And that'll give you a 2-minute window to call law enforcement and have law enforcement on them before they can blink.
Right.
I want to thank Crime Sleuthin. I'm sorry, LFT. Go ahead, LFT. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to LFT.
Oh no, I was just saying, or to at least give them the ability to let that adrenaline, you spray the bear spray, and the person goes freaking out, and then you use that adrenaline to just run like you haven't run before, have the opportunity to get away.
Run and call law enforcement.
Right.
You know, because you running away and calling law enforcement gives them like a 5-6 minute window to get where you're at, and you can actually tell them where this guy's location is before he gets up and runs away.
Right.
And as
Because he'll
much
be
as like
blinded running in.
exactly, and as much as the perpetrator runs on adrenaline, that thrill or what in the
Right.
process of planning and doing this, that same adrenaline can equate to the victim as well. Like
Mhm.
if you have the ability to kind of subdue in some way and then to run, I feel like
Right.
you'd experience that same kind of that fight. You would experience that fight and flight.
Well,
Right.
actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, LST, because Johhny and I had a conversation, I can't remember if it was yesterday or today, where he tested the whistle theory.
Oh
hmm
yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Well, I sat there for 25 minutes and nobody came.
And he
Whoa.
blew that whistle several times.
So,
Mhm.
I mean, if you blow that whistle and nobody comes, what makes you think they're going to hear you screaming?
Right. Exactly.
So, whistle is a great idea, except in a densely wooded area where
Go.
tunnels are
Right.
and the roads are going and you can't hear anything. You need
Right.
something a little bit more. I want to thank Crime Sleuthin. She just sent a donation through Cash App for counseling for your daughter. So we're going to send that, we're going to compile it all together and make sure that everyone sees the receipts and whatnot. But I wanted to specifically thank Crime Sleuthin. Thank you so much for your donation. We really appreciate that. It's just a little more to help get the right type
Right.
of counseling for the right people.
Right.
Right. Because, if it goes untreated, it could go into an addiction type phase,
Yeah.
alcohol addiction, anything,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Her numbing what she saw.
Right.
Because that's why people use drugs and alcohol to begin with, because they have
Yep.
so much pain that they need to numb.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You can totally just say no comment if this is way out of bounds. But in your impression, I know that y'all have had to deal with, especially your daughter being, one that helped locate her and made that call. Have has Ellie at least initially been just right? I don't know, human. You know what I mean in terms of or kind in dealing with her specifically. Like,
Has she had problems since then?
mhm.
Yeah.
I just okay. I just hoped like it wasn't like very aggressive in terms of approaching her. I
People
just was
come across her Facebook. I understand there's pictures of her out, and we tried to keep her out of everything
that's amazing.
because she's so traumatized. And
Yeah.
what
One of
gives
the
them
things we talked about tonight is I will not say her name. If you've heard
right?
it before, you've heard it, whatever. I can't control that, but I can control what happens on our channel. We are not saying her name. We're not giving any information out. It's just your daughter. That's it.
Exactly.
And I also want to mention it's also her friend.
That's right.
And 'cause I know we always keep saying it's just her, but I just want to make it clear. Um,
I need a charger.
cool. Uh
Yeah.
oh.
Hold on to this and talk.
Go get the grab his his phone crying. He's got to go grab a charger quick. Never a dull moment.
Ain't that the truth?
Yes. If anything can go wrong, it does.
I know.
But you got to be positive, and that's what I've been trying. My daughter's doing somewhat. She's tried to make herself go out and take walks, and to try to be close enough to home, but she's getting to the point where if somebody isn't there, she's panicking. And I don't want her to start to become agoraphobic.
Right.
Because, where she doesn't want to go anywhere. And I don't want her to start drinking.
Right.
And to deal with her problems, because that's not going to do a bit of good. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. We're trying to plug in here. Okay. Yes.
Hold on.
Here, do you want to sit on the corner?
Hold on. Oh, perfect. Look at this one. This one's mine anyway.
What?
Yeah, how'd this one get down here?
I haven't probably met.
Oh, yeah.
I apologize.
Don't
I'm
you
trying
dare.
Hey,
Don't you
Tia,
dare.
we're having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's like.
Yeah.
Listen, I got something to tell you. Look at this. It says Crime Sleuthin, who just donated on Cash App, just sent. Can you read that?
$1,000.
Thank you.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
That is awesome.
That is amazing.
Yeah, because she's like me. She would end up saying, "Oh, I
Thank
don't
you,
need
Crime
it.
Sleuthin.
I'll take care of it," and she'll try to pretend like nothing's wrong. And a lot.
Grab my vest. Grab my vest. Another thing I wanted to bring up to you while I was in chat, I'm going to have her hold the phone real quick, but I'm going to show you guys an article of clothing that if the community wants to recognize me while I'm out on the trail, here, hold this.
Okay, he's gonna show you.
You see my vest?
Yes, sir. Actually, hang on. I'm gonna put you on full screen. Give me 1 second. How do I do that? Why is it not working? That's not right.
Is it? Do I need to hold the phone different?
No, it's me. Go ahead. It's fine. I'll just take a picture of it. What does that say on the back, Johhny?
It says Tatanka.
Okay.
It's a nonprofit motorcycle association that I belong to. I wear this vest every day when I walk the trail, just to give people an eye of what I look like.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to talk to me in the community, that's what I'll be wearing every day down the trail.
Johhny also makes his own walking sticks, which are great for protection. We're going to start looking at those. That vest is beautiful. I got to talk about Crime Sleuthin for 1 second because my hair is standing up. I'm ready to cry. I am so grateful, Crime Sleuthin, for your amazing, not only just your support, but what you're doing for this family is just, you have no idea. When I tell you that we are downplaying a great deal, that is an understatement. It's bad. And someone had asked if there was, does Maryland have a victims? Yes. But
yes,
not for specific trauma counseling, which is really important for this.
Right.
We need trauma counseling. We don't just want a victim's like any old Joe Schmo helping. What she's been through has been, I'm going to leave this up because I need people to see how amazing this woman is. What she needs is something very, very specific. She's a young woman who has a long life ahead of her, and we need to protect our children. And that's what this is supposed to do, is help her carry on in a positive method.
It was beyond grateful, generous, and kind, and just an amazing expression of generosity and understanding. Thank you so much. That was above and beyond, and it's much appreciated.
Yeah, the wrong person helping can further the trauma, Ava said, and I couldn't agree more. And that's where I stepped in and was like, hey, you guys, I really want to get her a trauma counselor. I don't just want a random PTSD counselor. It's important too. And like I said, oh God, she said, I listen when God talks to my heart.
Yep.
Thank you for listening, and thank you for hearing. This family is, and I've said it, I've wrote in groups about Johhny. I now am shouting it from the rooftops. LFT can shout it with me. In the last week, we have become like family. I'm going to say it. Johhny and Margot, and I said to Margot yesterday, listen, I haven't talked to you yet, and I need to offer you my respect. I'm speaking to your husband, and that's weird to me. Like, it's not,
Meet
if
me in the woods.
if we're talking to my husband, I'd be like, what the hell's wrong with this woman? So I needed to offer respect to you, and I was just really glad that you were so receptive and kind, and like, hey, no problem. Like, we're all here for the same reason, and that's to find this person and help this family, and also help your family too. So I can't. I'm beyond words at the moment. I'm hoping somebody else can talk because I'm very choked up, and I'm super grateful.
I can mention if you go to the wrong counselor, you tend to, as you have children and you get older and you weren't treated properly, then your fears become your children's fears.
Yes.
And I know because of things that have happened to me in my past, I kind of pushed it on my kids, not realizing it. And we've all been working on that for at least 10, 13 years, something like that. And changing the trauma. Because a lot of times as parents, we'll be, stay away from dogs. They're scary. They'll bite you. And as you do that to your children, you end up putting your fears on them. And that's what I want to try to help her so she can deal with her problems now. So that when she does have children, that she doesn't make the same mistakes. And maybe it'll help her understand what's going on in general.
Yep.
I agree.
It'll give her some of her power back.
Right.
You want. Destiny said she hopes one day to be able to return the trail and meet Johhny. Destiny, I hope that too. I hope you can give him a big hug like I did, and I hope to give you a big hug. And Crime Sleuthin, when I see Johhny and Margot next, I will give them a big hug from you. And I'm just unbelievably grateful. I words are beyond me. But I'm so excited tomorrow to call this guy.
No, it's definitely very much appreciated.
Yes.
Because sometimes, not everybody has tons of money or has tons of things, and you want to do everything you can for your children. And I don't care how old your kids get, they're still your children. They're still your babies.
Absolutely.
And
when you see them hurting and scared, you want to help. And
I mean, like the first text I think I gave her the night after, because we always say goodnight. The kids and I say goodnight before they go to bed or whatever. And I told her, I said, I wish I could kiss this boo-boo away. And because I don't know exactly what to say. And for one, she's going through the point where she wants to act like it never happened. But it's starting to affect everything she does. If she goes to the store, if she goes, she like gears herself up when she has to go from her apartment and run to her car.
Right.
And then she's thinking, okay, hope I can get that parking spot that's really close to the building where I won't have to walk very far. And since this has happened, I don't think she's come by here.
Nope.
I mean,
one time, I think.
Yep.
I
think one time. And
One time.
normally she was showing up all the time.
Well, and part of the reason she's not coming too, I think, is because you've had unexpected visitors just drop by whenever the hell they feel like it on your land that says no trespassing.
Yeah.
Right at the top of my driveway, but they drove in anyway.
Yeah.
That was Fox 45.
Yeah. And
Didn't respect our boundaries.
Nope.
You know, when you're home, that's supposed to be like a fortress. Like nobody's supposed to bother you in your home unless you
Right.
call them or tell them to come over to your house.
That's right.
You know? I never invited them.
No.
I had just woke up that morning. I hadn't even had my coffee yet. And I'm taking the dog out, and then I go outside, and Margot's out there with WBFF.
And that's because he had just ran into, where was that?
Daily Mail UK.
Yeah.
All the way from England. I don't know what they have to do with this case.
Yeah.
But why did they come all the way from London to my driveway?
They
That
got
isn't.
reporters stationed in every nearby metropolitan area possible.
Yeah.
But it's
And
awful that
being-
they snuck up on you like that. Like, or just so uninvited, or not even reaching out, or anything.
Intrusive.
Just, yeah,
Right.
thank you. That's the word.
Well, like Ida said right here, the media is super shady. Never trust them anymore.
No.
Believe me, I've learned my lesson.
Yeah,
you know?
because we were sitting there discussing the whole situation, not just the three parts,
Mhm.
but when we specifically told them we do not want any of this being put on the news, which it was our fault for, we trusted them. They seemed trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up, some of the things they said, he said, I said. And they got a lot of bad backlash from.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, because I knew the little ins and outs that my daughter had happened. And I don't know, it just was a whole mess.
Is
And
there anything that you want to? I asked Johhny this, but I haven't given you the opportunity yet, Margot. Is there anything that you would like to straighten out that was said that upsets you, or is there anything on your heart that you want to straighten out?
the one thing that and I believe I had just talked to my daughter that morning before everybody showed up. And she was telling me, Mom, it was horrible. She says, she goes, 911 kept telling me to sit down because she was hyperventilating. She was, you could tell she was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
When they told her to sit down, she sat down.
Right.
And, it was in an area where apparently, Rachel had been drugged or something. And just, I was telling them, I guess since part of it was because I was still in shock.
Mm-hmm.
And, they ran with it. And the most heartbreaking thing for me was I used to like to watch Grizzly True Crime.
Right.
And, ripped us apart. And it broke my heart. Because, originally she would say, we do this nice here. We don't talk about people and make judgments.
Right.
That has changed. And,
I mean, we had been following her since the Gabby Petito case.
yeah.
Right.
Since she brought out Gabby Petito, she had a lot of good facts in that case.
Yeah.
And if you look at that case mirrors this one. National Park, a girl,
Mm-hmm.
there it is, same story made over. Except this one was a mentally ill boyfriend, Brian Morin.
Oh, with
That was in cahoots with his parents.
Right.
They never turned him in. They had him at the house, but they never turned him in to you. So.
I just got a message from one of the brothers of Rachel, and he said, can you please confirm that they were returned? Can you please confirm that those were returned, sir? Because I'd like
I
to.
saw them down on the trail today, and they were sitting in front of the rocks at the head of the trail. It was 2 white glass pots.
Oh, thank God. That is awesome.
So I don't know if the person that took them felt bad, or because we made a stink about them and we were looking for them and they were scared of prosecution, but they're back.
Thank God.
Or
I
That
just,
is
I just
something.
messaged him back. It was Mr. Morin. He said, please confirm. Thank you. I said they were at the head of the trail today. So they're aware now. Thank you very much,
Well,
Johhny, for
I
letting
don't
us.
know. I mean, I don't know if there's a way to confirm that they were the exact same pots, but what whomever returned or put something in their place is an expression of grace, in my opinion.
We're grateful.
Well, I mean, these pots were the same shape, same size, and they were the same color. So
I sent Johhny a picture today.
I'd really like to believe that they were the pots that were returned.
I hope so.
You know, I brought that to light because that broke my heart. You know,
That was
people
disgusting.
desecrate monuments. You know what I mean? It's
And
not
this
cool.
was, just happened. That was so.
It was hours later.
Yeah.
Hours later.
Right.
Like just
Right.
the audacity.
Right. You know, the audacity. And again, going back to security.
Right.
If they would have had security there, those pots would have never been stolen.
Right.
You know, if they would have had those police on that trail, within regular intervals, I don't think those people would have even had a chance to steal them. You know?
Well,
Right.
and
I mean,
I
being
think
honest.
I think it's something in cases like this because there's little that you can get positive out of this because it's a tragedy all around. But it would be
Right.
amazing that one day, for Rachel's sake, like think about it may take some time, but the changes that are done is she's saving potentially people in the future or helping like medical emergencies, whatever it may be.
Right. Right.
It'd be a way to honor it may take a little bit of time, but like you don't want to be remembered simply for that tragedy. You want to be remembered maybe from what good and what change could have come from it, no matter how small. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Inspector Gadget wondered what happened with the pots. So I can show you a picture of what we're talking about. Rachel's family did a walk last week for her on the trail. And one of the things they did was they bought these beautiful, I have a picture of it right here. Let me share this. These beautiful flowers for her on either side of the trailhead. Someone had, let me see if I can share this really quick. Someone had taken, whoopsie, I almost deleted LFT. I would have had to answer some questions there. Someone had taken the flowers and thrown them into the woods and took the flower pots. Can you guys? You can't see it. Why is that?
You can't make that.
No, you can't. Why would you do that? Like, I don't even understand why you would do that. But this is, oh, it's beautiful raining. Oh, I love that hippie chick. That's cool. These were the flowers that Rachel's family had purchased for the head of the trail. And like I said, they dumped.
Yeah.
Bigger. They dumped the flowers
Dumped
in
them
the
on
woods.
Trash.
And
You're right.
took the daggum. Why? Why would you take the? I don't understand why you would take the pots. I mean, it was just mean. It was mean. There was no reason to do that. But one of the things that Johhny told me first thing today was, "Hey, I saw the pots out there," and I was like, "Oh, thank God!" So we put it in the group, and the family now knows, and hopefully somebody can go over there and grab them.
I mean, if Mr. Morin's still in the chat, I'd like to tell him we need that camera system up, and we want to dedicate that to Rachel. You know, that has to be dedicated to Rachel, you know, in her honor, you know, because I feel like she's watching over everybody on that trail, keeping
Right.
everybody else safe, bringing
This-
her community back together.
What I said
You
the
know
other
what I
day
mean?
when I went on, what did I went one day. I literally, I mean, I will show you this. It is a 6-minute video where I am on the phone with LFT and I'm videotaping, and I am nervous as all hell on the trail. I mean, the hair is standing up on my arm again. I was so scared. There was nobody around, and all of a sudden, I mean, the funny part of the story is 2 guys popped out of the woods.
Oh, Lord.
Turns out they were cops, and it was fine. But I yelled at them because I was like, "You guys just scared the shit out of me," and they were like, "We're supposed to be here, are you?" And I'm like, "Well, no, but that's fine. You." It was just me running uphill trying to get back to my car. So freaking scared, but I'm so uncomfortable there now. And one of the things that Johhny said to me today was he's very comfortable in his skin. Johhny's very
Right.
comfortable in his skin, and he doesn't appear that he's scared of a whole lot of things. Last night they shared some stories with me that would scare the shit out of me, but he didn't seem he didn't seem all that upset about it. Margot, on the other hand, still has problems with his bravery, but
Yeah.
he was nervous today. He was nervous today, and that speaks volumes to me that a
Yeah.
man that was, is well equipped and can handle himself was nervous on that trail.
I wasn't exactly scared. I was just nervous.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm walking the trail and I know how long it takes me to walk the trail.
Mhm.
Right.
You know? And there was nobody else on the trail. No law enforcement, nobody else. It was just me and nature.
Yeah.
And
Eerie.
I felt like that I could have been in the danger zone with this guy watching his feeds,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, and trying to silence me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which that doesn't really scare me. I mean, I'll fight him tooth and nail, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still the point that
Mhm.
when I went down there today, I was nervous.
Right.
Like my stomach was bubbling.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I felt like I was all alone and I felt hopeless.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
weird.
you know what I mean? Like I felt like I was vulnerable.
And
You know?
that's
I can't
honestly
imagine how a
not
woman
him.
feels when a woman walks down that trail. If I'm feeling that way, I can almost imagine what the women of our community feel walking down that trail.
I can
Right.
describe what it's like when Tia's been doing it by herself. She's like, "Oh my God, there's someone," and in my heart, I'm like, "No one touch her, because we'll have to kick your butts." But at the same time, I'm like, "You're fine, you're fine." But she's like, "No, no, no, there's someone. I heard a noise," and you can literally hear the pace pick up, like.
Mhm.
And then she's
Yeah.
like, and then like she said, she was like, "Oh, it was just a cough," and I was like, "Oh my God." Like,
Yeah.
I
okay,
know, but at the same time, you're
but it's the
like,
truth. Mm-hmm.
you don't know that from us. Listen, let me show you I'll show you the video really quick. We'll speed it along.
Wait, that's not
There's
there. That
Well,
was the day that I thought we were just out there without. Was that a day? I think that was just you and me on the phone, and you
It
did
was.
it, and it was
Mhm.
and it was literally like, and I was like, I know. I was like, first of all, I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but in a way too, while there's not as many people maybe right there on the trail, especially today, as Johhny BlackHawk said, but they're still hopefully and allegedly, just eyeing, surveying, keeping an eye on the area, more patrol. So you're kind of in like one of the safest places. If you're gonna go, actually, in the weirdest way, it's like go now, because apparently there's more, you know, security around it. But she will
Right.
definitely, like a tree branch falls, and she's like, "No, we are out."
My
Mm-mm,
daddy's
mm-mm.
skin.
I was doing that today. I was hearing deer crash through the woods.
And
Yeah.
normally he's completely comfortable in the woods.
Right?
See?
For him,
Exactly.
for me hearing this, I'm going, what? you know, because
Exactly. It's like unnerving. It's so out of the norm, right? As
yeah,
someone who like you hear him talk, like I'm going. The last thing you expect from to hear from him is like, I'm nervous. Like I'm not. I'm. Mm-mm.
yeah.
You know, it's eerie.
Here,
And
look at this.
some
And you
great
won't be able to hear anything, but you can watch. Like, this is just me walking along, and I'm like, okay, look at this. And as I'm walking, I'm telling LFT, like, oh, the flowers are still here. It's beautiful. Da, 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 da. And then I'm not even gonna say anything. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. Look, the panic is setting in.
Mhm.
You can already see, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go down a little further, just a little further, not too far. We're gonna just check it out. And I kept saying, I feel very uncomfortable. Like, this is all I
Mhm.
kept saying is like, I feel so uncomfortable. And she's like, you have your camera, just film anything. And right here, if you can see way down, you got to look really closely. You can see, oh, geez, Louise. There's two guys walking way down there. I stopped dead in my tracks. This is
Right.
me stopping dead in my damn tracks. I'm like, I can't. And then I'm telling her, okay, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm looking at the flowers. I don't really know what's
Yeah.
happening. But the whole time I'm a nervous freaking wreck.
Yeah.
Look at all those flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, another thing, all the pictures are gone now.
What?
Well, I
I
wondered
don't
if
know.
maybe the family took them down.
Maybe.
Maybe for the celebration of life.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I think it happened with some a similar situation, but I know someone that they did the same thing, went all around the neighborhood like after the fact, the pictures up, and then within a couple of days it was very quiet, but it was family or people connected to the family. There was it was just a reason to go take them down. One had been vandalized, and I think at some point sometimes maybe that decision's made. I hope that's what it is and not someone
Yeah.
just
Somebody
removing.
steal
Yeah, or just being.
I found that a little weird today that they were all removed. I'm like, what is going on around here?
it. Right.
Do
You
you
know?
see, like, are you watching this where you can see, like, now I'm like, uh-uh.
Yeah,
And
the
I'm
pace is picked up exponentially. I see that.
No,
this
so
is one of
the
the
first,
things I wanted to show you too. Johhny, look at that. See, there's one of the little trails that we were talking about.
Yep, I went down that trail today.
Did you really?
Yep, that's one of the trails I visited today.
Yeah, you'll
See, and I
notice.
leave everything exactly the way it is too. I don't move anything out of my way, and I try to step off the beaten path so I
Right.
can look for footprint. I can look for disturbances in the ground. I can look for little items laying on the ground that were maybe dropped or left behind.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm out there looking for. Like stuff that just hit the ground. You know what I mean? Because that'll tell me where people are moving through this forest.
Johnny, I meant to tell you the other day when you and Tia first went and did the walk and talked, and you knew that I was in her ear. When it went quiet for like it was still connected, but I guess like y'all said, the service isn't great.
Yeah.
And so y'all should see me. I was like, everything's okay. I mean, in my head, I was like, everything's fine. But I was like, all right, all I'm hearing is like just like like just like a hum, kind of windy kind of sound. And then I
Yeah.
knew at 112, I heard, wait, 112 was a dog barked. And I was like, noted, a dog barked at 112. And then at 116, I heard the gator go by. And then the next thing I heard, it was like, it was so great seeing you. And that was like 17 minutes later. And I was like, I think I missed everything. But I knew, but I was taking note of like when it went quiet on my end, I was like, okay, wait, I heard a dog. I heard a dog at 112 and then a gator or the
Yeah.
ATV at 116. So I was trying to keep an eye on y'all.
I mean,
Right.
even if these people want to come down the community in the trail, I mean, I can leave it on my Facebook whenever I go down the trail. If these people want to come down and meet me, and they want to get a little better feel for the little on-side trails and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And if people would start letting their other people in the area, hey, I'm going down to the trail. Does anybody want to walk with me?
That's
and
what I was talking about
start
too.
getting a community type walk. Plus, it'll help us to be able to know who our neighbors are. When
So
I
you
was
guys-
young, I had to talk to
I
everybody.
know. That's why I went on
And
camera
we
so
would-
everyone is.
Okay. I have a huge
Okay.
carpenter bee in here. It's like, I'm not even kidding. It's like the size of my dog.
Yeah.
And my husband's
Oh, you
trying.
got little bugs in here, too.
My husband's
Yeah,
trying to
and then
attack
I
it.
was
So
like-
give me 1 sec.
And then I was like,
Catching
okay.
and
I was like, I'll go on
something-
camera real fast and make sure. I was like, something's going on.
We
but it
understand that well.
I grab him in my hand and walk him out of the house.
Yes, he does.
Mm,
Don't ask me how.
That is
Okay.
amazing and terrifies me.
Don't know.
Absolutely terrified. I'm not scared of anything except bugs and snakes. That's it. Oh, it's over here.
Right.
I got it. It's right here.
And they're two of my favorite things, bugs and snakes.
But I like snakes now.
no. Mm-mm.
Well, I'm not going to sit there and
uh-uh.
pick up a huge one, but
Oh my gosh! I could see a baby, like a newborn green snake, and I'd be like, I know it can't hurt me, like legit, I know it, but
It just bit my husband.
we need
Woo!
what?
Oh,
Is he okay, Tia?
Yeah, he's okay. It's one of those big, you know what I'm talking about? The big carpenter bees.
hornets.
Yes.
They have a venom sting. It's like venom. It'll come
Well,
in
that's great.
waves.
That's not gonna give her
Hours.
any anxiety at all. Just tell her.
Give him a little
Look.
bit of baking soda and water mixed together and put that on the stick. It'll draw that venom out.
Oh,
Ice.
Ice too, yeah.
Because
okay, let's look it up because we need to figure this out. Apparently, he got it. It's good, huh?
oh,
Baking
Yeah,
He's
soda
gonna
and water.
amputate.
they
Aaron,
hope.
thank you for stopping in. Have a good night. Or if you're listening, just hi and
Yeah,
have a good
most
night.
bees go to bed at night. Those bees are out at night.
Well, when they get in the house and they got light, they fly toward the light.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Now look, she's googling something. Don't. This is what. Look at her.
Googling bee sting therapy.
Yeah.
Okay, try. It says, "Why does it hurt so much?"
It does hurt.
Okay.
It has a venom. They have venom like snake venom.
I told you it's a big ass thing.
And
Did they do the baking soda and water?
Baking
Baking
soda,
soda.
water, and
It-
maybe some ice there, friend.
Ice.
There's never a dull moment. Didn't you just say that, Margot? There's never a dull
Yeah, never a dull moment.
Nope.
I'll sit
Why'd
there
you-
going, oh my God, there's a hornet in the bathroom. Oh, I'll get him. He's sitting there, has it in his hand, and he's walking out, talking to it. And I'm going, oh my God.
Risk. That's what I've always heard around here as well. Tobacco. with
Chewing tobacco?
Mm-hmm.
Right, hey, you're on camera. Can we not do this right now?
Yeah, make sure it's red man now.
Dang it! Every time you go on camera, you're making me go on camera to make it even. Get out.
Russ-
Go put some baking soda and ice on that and talk to me in 10 minutes.
Yeah. You got to bring your heart rate down because as long as you're keyed up, it'll hurt worse.
Great. That's what I was like. Don't tell Tia.
Tia.
Don't tell her. Tell her just everything. Just go do it. Y'all are fine. Go put some ice and baking soda and water on it, and all good. All good.
Good. It's all good. Nobody's
good.
losing it tonight.
We're good. We're good.
It is, It is like a 3-ring circus around this joint. I'm not even kidding. Oh, toothpaste does work. You're right. I forgot about that.
Toothpaste is really good.
Oh yeah.
My big fat Greek wedding says Windex works for everything. Or fine,
Windex.
just leave when I'm talking to you, Tia. That's fine. I was trying to
I
offer
heard
some
you.
help.
I heard you. See,
By the way, we're wearing our same T-shirts. I don't know if anyone else does.
Harvard.
Hey.
It is never a dull moment. It is, excuse me,
Nope.
it is always, you look, I'm trying to talk about things, I'm getting all choked up. It's been a hell of a night. We got bee stings. We got $1,000. You never know what you're going to get here at Decipher.
It's all fun and games till somebody gets amputated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ain't it the truth?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Be thankful it wasn't a hornet. What's the difference?
Be thankful.
Be thankful.
Yeah, be thankful.
Yeah.
Hey,
Be
criminality.
thankful.
I know
Be
there was
thankful
something.
it wasn't those little underground yellow jackets. They hurt.
Lord.
Those
And those,
hurt.
Well, them big
Yes.
ones really hurt.
I don't know, the yellow jackets hurt worse.
Oh, they all hurt.
They all
I
hurt.
remember I
got
remember I
some-
took
go
50
ahead.
stings in one shot.
What?
From
Yeah.
Yep.
We had a thing of Africanized bees in the yard. Well, that time that was down behind Highs.
Yep.
Crazy.
And we had I don't know what they were, some type of bee. I think they were Africanized bees. And my grandson's 2 little friends that had come with my daughter. One of them started grabbing pear apples off our tree and throwing them in this bush. Next thing you know, you had bees everywhere. And they were attacking the kids and attacking us. And my daughter and her 2 little ones at the time were running up the hill trying to get away from them. They get in the car and have everything locked up. The bees are coming in. They had to get all their stuff together and got bit up so bad. I got stung like 50, 60 times. It was
Oh, my God.
And I'm allergic, so that was not fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fun time, bro.
Yeah, makes you appreciate the little things.
Real B, who is one of our moderators and just a gentleman amongst gentlemen, one of my favorite people on the planet, said, "We asked Johhny about the trail cams. Inexpensive, can be moved and monitored from home to sometimes." He's working on getting those trail cams put up, Wheel. He's holding the sheriff to his feet to the flame there and kind of saying, "Buddy, you said you were going to do this. When are you going to do this?" Because now it's been a couple weeks.
But in the meantime, they need to put these trail cameras up around the tunnels too, because those tunnels are they're eerie. Let's just say that. It's an easy way for somebody to get in and out of that trail without being.
And they had a trail camera back there right after it happened, and they were taken down.
Well,
yeah, they were watching over the scene.
Do any of those little, like y'all referred to them earlier when we were talking, like, I know the smaller spider trails, or even say the area that Rachel was potentially, drug off of.
Right.
Any of those, do those kind of lead to an area, to a quick getaway area by chance? Like,
you go right through the tunnel and it goes right through to a wetland.
Yeah.
And you're in the middle of all the highways. I mean, and the highways are above you. Nobody's going to see you down in there.
No.
Nobody's going to see you.
But there's a lot of tunnels down there. It's not just that one.
There's so many tunnels down there.
And they all lead through different areas of Bel Air.
Yep.
Okay. And so
that's what's
even if you weren't
interesting is
Go
You
ahead,
first.
LSD.
I'm so sorry, y'all. It's my connection. I feel
You're good.
terrible.
You're good.
No, I was just thinking all those little trails that y'all have showed that we've kind of gotten to see, and I know I've seen a few with Tia off even the main trail. Like, it's not like you're just running through the woods. You can find that footpath, and eventually,
Right.
even those are going to put you close to potentially another exit, like a
Right.
tunnel, whether it be the tunnel or the okay.
It's funny you say that because the trails on that, the tunnels on that trail actually lead to a place called Anna's house, which is like, it's like homeless. They take care of the homeless in the area. And that's right
Okay.
off the trail too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you could traverse these tunnels and they would bring you right out, right at Anna's house, right there on Toll Gate Road.
Gosh. I mean, I do agree. I saw that comment. Like maybe cameras could be messed with, and that's a really valid point. But I think
Yeah.
even
Not if
then,
you put them high up in the tree. Not if
but
you
it
put them high up in the tree
true
and put them down toward the trail.
and true.
You
And
know?
I
then
mean,
when you try to disable them half the time, like some image of you is going to be caught. I mean, you can wear a mask or do whatnot, but
Yeah,
it eventually gets
yeah,
found
yeah.
out.
I
But it's
mean, like
still worth a try.
yeah.
the trail that goes up to the tunnel where she was found. There's a beaten path. I mean, a hard beaten path that goes right up to that tunnel. So it looks like to me it is well traversed. And if you walk through that tunnel like I did, you'll see graffiti all the way through the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells me that people have been traversing through that tunnel and hanging out in said tunnel.
Right.
Hmm.
One of the things that Johhny wants to do is do a live from the area to show people. Also, Johhny, I wanted to let you and Margot know that Criminality's in here. T's in here, and she says
Also,
hello.
Hi T, how you doing tonight?
There she is.
Good to be here.
We're going to go live, and one of these days when we can find the time, both of us and all of us get together again, we're going to try and go live from the trail. The difficult part from going live from the trail is the area where she was found. When I tried to go live from there before,
you lose reception.
you just don't get good reception down there. So we're going to give it a shot.
I wouldn't want to put that part of the trail on the live anyway, out of respect for the family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because then you get some weirdos that want to go down
can walk
there.
up to it, but then once we get here, cut the video, and then just show other side of the trail where it or the other side of the tunnel where it comes out, and it snakes through them wetlands. I mean, you know, that would be the perfect video to illustrate how easy it would be for somebody to get in and out of there.
Oh my gosh! If you put on y'all's rain boots and then start it, don't show us what tunnel you enter. Start walking through a tunnel. Like start midway and walk it and show us where you end up on the other end of it.
That's what my idea was, to go halfway into the tunnel and show you guys how far it is from one end of the tunnel to the other.
Yeah.
It's about 300 feet long. It's about 10 feet high. And you could stand up and just walk right through it like nobody's even watching you. But on that tunnel, right in front of that tunnel, you can see that trail, but you can't see the tunnel from the trail.
Right. No.
You know, so that right there warrants a trail camera, whether they want to realize that or not. They need a trail camera in front of there because people do traverse through there.
Right.
Wheel wants to know how many trail cameras. You could easily do hundreds of trail cameras.
Oh my God, yes.
6.25 miles of trail. And we don't know. I haven't figured out. I know I saw it somewhere, but I don't know how many acres it is, but it's enormous. It's enormous. So, I mean, it hundreds.
And wheel, there are, like, I guarantee you, there are at least 100 different little offshoots off this trail where people could go and hide from everybody that's on that main trail.
Right. If you know your way around it, you know if somebody's coming, you can disappear and go someplace else.
Right. You know, and then
that thing, Johhny, what is that thing when you first get on the trailhead by William Street on your right hand side? Is it like an electrical or a water station to the right? There's like a building and
that is a communication tower, it looks like to me.
Okay.
It looks like one of the Harford County
emergency.
No, not emergency, but a parks and recreation shed.
Yeah.
Where they would do like wheelbarrows and shovels and stuff to help maintain the trail.
Right.
You know what I mean? They got a big enough lot down there to where they can bring a dump truck in, put mulch on the parking lot, and then wheel it under the trail, gravel, whatever they need for the trail to maintain it. That's how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
They wheelbarrow it into those.
That makes a lot of sense. I was trying to figure out what that was. So see, you've already helped me there. Ava says, how many trailheads for a start? Well, there's one on William Street, but I mean, there's accessing the trail. It's hundreds, I would say.
That trail goes all the way from Bel Air all the way up to the PA line.
Oh my God.
I used to ride it in Moncton.
Yeah, right. I did
so
too.
That'll tell you how far that railroad bed goes up.
Yeah.
I mean,
in Moncton, we used to ride it up there.
Yeah.
Delana has a question. She said, before all this happened, did Ellie make rounds in this park on a regular basis? Not that we're aware of.
Before this happened, you barely saw police down there.
No.
You barely saw police because there was never any problem down there during the day.
No, and if you did see police down there, it mainly would freak you out because you'd be like, what the hell's going on that the police are here?
Right.
Like that day when I come up to the trailhead when this happened, there was mobile command post, about 10 or 12 cars parked on the road, parked in the parking lot. They had a canopy up, you know, and it's another thing I want to touch down on.
What's that?
Right as soon as Rachel was found, within an hour or two, that mobile command post left the trailhead.
Yeah.
Did they really?
Yes. They took the command post and left. So I don't know if they were finished processing the scene at that point, and they just all dispersed from the area. That really confused me.
Yeah.
Now, did
because
all
usually
the police leave, or was it just the mobile command?
No, mostly all of them left. There was only like maybe 1 or 2, 3 cars down there at that point. You know, you had 3 squad cars before you had like 12 or 14 of them when everybody was searching for it.
Yeah.
Do you all think, and actually this may be more for Tia than anyone, but that wasn't as closely connected to it on August 6th. Do you think law enforcement explored any kind of spider trail areas off of it, walked, like say, I mean, okay, we've all heard, assumingly she was found quasi at least near that tunnel. Do you think they walked the tunnels? I'm just asking, like, I don't want you to give away anything in terms of crime, like, that can't be revealed. I'm just wondering.
My daughter said when she was down there, she said there was no police. There was nobody down where she found Rachel. And not even on the trail, you know, walking. There were a couple here and there. And when she was waiting after she made the phone call, like these 2 biker guys come walking up to her, and apparently her friend had walked away somewhere. And then some other man was following her around, and she was scared to death. And it took the police about 20 minutes to get there.
That was because of the dispatch.
Yeah, sent them
Sent them to
23.
23 instead
23
of 24.
Right. But they should have sent somebody to both of them.
Yeah.
But she was out there freaking out. And she was on the phone with me, just hysterical.
Facts, Delana, facts. When you see officers, you're less likely to commit a crime. Now, see, that's why I want more patrols. This
Yeah,
guy happens to come out. This guy happens to come out. Police will be right there to flush him out.
right.
You know, but if they're nowhere around, you know, what are you supposed to handle it by yourself?
They need to have police walking, not just when, riding things.
one from you.
They need.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Margaret. I just completely interrupted you. I apologize. Keep going. You keep going.
I just think that they need to have, even if they have their ATVs or whatever, sitting close by, but they need to get off of those things and walk around, not just ride through, because it'll take an hour, 2 hours for them to come back, and anything could happen within that time.
Like I was telling you earlier, I could have burnt the forest down for 3 hours and they wouldn't have known what was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so.
Can, like,
listen,
local-
he was. Sorry, LFT.
Poor LFT keeps getting
I
cut
swear,
off.
I swear, I'll pop off after this so I don't interrupt anymore.
No,
But
do
my
not hop
question-
off. We don't want you to do that.
My question
No.
was in terms of other, like, I don't know if this would fall upon, HOAs in the area. I know because technically it's a public trail. I mean, jurisdiction, what it would fall under. But if say there's a homeowners association or say a community group that's willing to do it, like even hiring security, if nothing else in the meantime, like we have local security, services patrolling other areas. If it can't be law enforcement, can someone else utilize and utilize another source of like another company in the meantime? At least there's something there, someone that's available.
How about a DNA park ranger?
Yeah.
Put park
Anything.
rangers in.
Anything.
You know,
Volunteers, people who want to be helpful. There has to be more than just you.
Right. Retired men, a lot of older men that, I'm not talking old, but older men that retire and they feel like a lot of times that they're worthless. Give them a job.
I love that idea.
There are a few men that lived right outside of there that had been retired policemen, or just anybody in the area, as long as they're doing the right thing and not being weirdos.
Right.
It would be, even if there were more men around, it may deter somebody from robbing someone, or God forbid, another, murder.
I know. Well, that's the thing. How do you feel? I mean, I know how you feel, but I want you to tell people how you guys are feeling in the community now. With this guy still out there, what do you want to, how do you feel? I mean, we've talked about how Johhny feels on the trail. Are you going to the store regularly? Are you running your errands regularly?
Avoiding going anywhere, Bear. Almost. I wait until everything's gone. And before I go, whenever I felt like it.
Right. Whenever the urge struck you, out you would go.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not myself right now. I mean, I have PTSD from being attacked years ago. And a lot of my anxiety from that, a lot of my obsessive compulsive, are coming back. Things that I'm like checking off books and checking, not being able to sleep. Just some of the trauma things are coming back. And I just would like to have, I don't know, it's like in the very beginning there was a lot of talk about it, but then as soon as we got past a couple of things that the family did for Rachel, you didn't hear anything. I mean, it's like it just died off.
Yeah.
And Lana, I also come from a blue line family. My uncle was a watch commander for the Baltimore City Police Department for 40 years.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
That's incredible. Yeah, we back the blue here. We definitely back the blue here, but we also request some things from our gentlemen and our ladies and gentlemen who serve and protect. And that's one of the things that Johhny's been really big on is like, Tia, LFT, remember that. Oh my God, Carol Claus, that's a great idea. I'm going to put that up. Remember, hold on, look at this. Maybe retired veterans or soldiers.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
That's a brilliant idea.
That's brilliant. Yes, it is.
That's a really smart idea. If they'd be willing, God, I know a ton of vets that would be like, hell, I'll go walk the trail. And
I could teach them all the little trails and everything.
Yeah.
Take them down there and teach them all the little ins and outs of that trail. That would be lovely.
Actually, Wheel, thank you for bringing that up. Johhny, do you know we have another case that we're handling that's a cold case in Baltimore. Do you have any detectives that you know of down there?
Probably get a hold of my great uncle and see if he knows some people down there. I could do that. He lives right in Falston.
Okay. We'll talk about that after. We're working on a case we're actually working on 2 cases with Wheel. And one is his family member. So I'll talk to you about that afterwards. But I'm glad that he said something. Actually, Wheel, I'm going to make a note. Please remind me, Wheel, if I don't. We haven't forgotten about you.
I'll write that down too in my notebook. So I remember that.
Baltimore. Okay. Yay, Mal's back. And Ashley's here. Thistle's here. Thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight and joining Margot and Johhny and LFT and myself. We really appreciate you guys. Is there anything else that you guys would like to cover or say or that we can do for you?
Not that I know
of. Okay. Just the only thing I'm really worried about is my daughter.
I know, and we're going to work on that. We're going to, well, as you can see, we've got a really good start.
We're well on our way. Right. We're well on our way.
Thank you, Crime Sleuthin. Thank you, Crime Sleuthin. There were assaults in Charlotte last year on the trails where 2 women were running within a week. They band together and join groups and run together. I think that's great.
That's awesome.
We were talking about that earlier, how we should start a community page about the Mom Pa Trail.
Delana says, a thin blue line family, yes, protect and serve. We need to do better. You can't wait until something bad happens. You have to be proactive.
Right.
I agree. Proactive and vigilant, she said. And I think that's super important.
One of my elders told me one time, he's like, all you got to do is remember the A, B, C, D, E, F of life. Always be careful and don't ever forget your surroundings. Right. A, B, C, D, E, F.
Wow. I tell my kids that all the time. Be aware of your surroundings. Keep your head on a swivel. Look around. See who's around you. Be able to describe the person next to you. So many times you're on your phone. Who's on their phone, who's texting, who's watching things, and you're listening to music. And and I'm guilty. I am guilty. I'm trying to do better.
I keep my phone in my pocket. I don't even pull my phone out.
Right.
The way this world's getting nowadays, I'd rather go home or sit in a restaurant where I know other people are so I can still get my said device.
Right.
See, when you're out on nature trails like that, you should not. These women down there are still wearing these studio headphones.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that cover your whole ears.
Mhm.
You know, and they're running down this trail still by themselves,
Yeah.
not a care in the world, you know. And with that being said, something else bad is going to happen because
Yeah.
nobody's listening.
It's true.
That would
It's very true. Be
be me,
aware
though,
of your
'cause I can't.
surroundings.
You know, we made that warning the other night about the studio headphones, the noise canceling headphones.
Right.
You're not going to be able to hear this guy running up behind you.
Yeah.
He's going to be really quiet, and you're not going to hear him until it's too late.
Right.
You know, if you're going to wear earbuds, wear one bud in your ear and keep one ear to the ground.
Right.
That's right.
You know,
That's
keep
right.
your head on swivel. Start a community page. Mom Pa Trail community. You're going down the walk, right? You know, two pages, one for the trail and one for the national parks.
Right.
You know, just if you're going down the trail, leave a message. Hey, I'm going down the trail. Does anybody want to
Yeah.
join me? And then
Right.
build a group and then walk as a group.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, keep our women safe in this community because this guy is still here. He's still on the loose.
And we
And
don't know
that
where
would
that
be a good
is.
idea for people in general. A lot of people, they go out and go do things and don't tell anybody where they're going. Everybody needs to get into a habit of telling someone where you're going.
I mean, since I've started this, every time I go down the trail, I text Tia and tell her, hey, I'm going down the trail.
Mhm. He sure does.
With her that, hey, I'm down the trail.
It's
Right.
an
You know?
outside party besides family who knows where he is. His family
Right.
knows where he is, but it's also my responsibility to know where he is so that, God forbid, something
Yeah.
happens, we can come from all directions.
In the community, exactly.
And that's just
Right.
a good idea all the way around for
I
people
agree.
to, pay attention, because sometimes people don't even realize when their loved one left and where they were going. And it's a must to let people close to you know.
Right.
Leave me. I left at this particular time. You
Look at
know.
this comment. We are here for your daughter and family, Johhny and Margot. You sure
Thank
shit are.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you very much.
That means a
Isabel
lot.
said, Crime Sleuthin, that donation you made earlier says what an amazing person you are. It really
Yes,
does.
yes, it does. You know,
Yes,
Crime
it does.
Sleuthin says, check Meet Me app website. They do organize hikes and walks. Maybe a value. Oh, what a great idea. Okay, we'll have to look into that.
I didn't even know about that. So
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Yeah,
You
that is a
know?
great idea. Yes, I share my location with LFT and my family, so everyone knows where I am at all times. I also have dog DNA. I have dog hair all over me, so that when I leave, I have my dog's DNA.
Right, right.
The
Yeah.
thing to do.
Yes.
All right, you guys, we're going to close it down. I want to thank you so much for both of you for being here. I know this isn't easy. I know going through this, first of all, just waking up in the morning isn't easy in dealing with this, but coming on publicly and sharing your thoughts, opinions, and your horrific memories, the things that you know from what's been told, that's not easy. And we're very grateful.
Well, I'm honored to be here, and anything I can do for my community is what I'm going to do. You know, like I said, these people need to be held accountable. Number one, it's tragedy. Number two, we have to stay vigilant as a community to keep the rest of our community safe.
That's right.
Yeah. But this is only one weirdo. I'm sure there's a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I believe Johhny was the one that said it. When you take one down, 10 pop up.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
You never know. You never know. So I want to thank you both very much and know that I'm going to get with Crime Sleuthin and we're going to talk about the donation coming, getting to the counselor and paid for, the other money getting to the counselor and being paid for as well. But that should give your daughter and her friend a good basis for some awesome counseling.
To get started and to get the ball rolling on that.
Right? I mean, I can't even believe.
There's a message for the Harford County Sheriff here too. I'm only here trying to help. I'm not trying to hinder the case in any way. I'm just basically looking out for my community, and my community is my heart. I may have been a bad guy when I was younger, made some mistakes when I was younger, but you know what? This is me giving back to my community. This is the only way I know how to give back to my community, by keeping them safe from other people trying to harm and trying to infiltrate our community.
Right.
Enough is enough. We need their help to get through this. We all help each other in that way. We can get through this. But if we keep bumping heads, we'll never get through this.
Right.
I mean, that's, I hope that they're going to come to me and ask me for, some kind of help. See me on the trail every day. Almost every day I'm on that trail now.
Yep. I don't think there's been very few days where we've spoken you haven't gone.
Right? And when I am down there, they just ride by and wave at me and just keep going.
Right.
Instead of stopping and talking, how you doing today? What are your thoughts? How what are you doing down here today? What can you help us out? Is there any place we need to be looking? You know what I mean? Because
we just need a community with the police, some type of a meeting. You don't have to tell us what information you have on this guy, but some things the community would like to have done, and just speak as, people in general.
Right.
And, we need to get back to knowing our neighbors.
That's right.
Knowing the community.
We were talking about that earlier, Tia.
That's disappeared.
We were talking about that too earlier.
Do you want to share your Facebook page or not? That's up to you.
Me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean,
it's
on. I mean, everybody knows my name. All they got to do is look me up on Facebook. If anybody wants to get a hold of me,
I'll put it out there as long as you're okay with it first.
I'm fine with it.
Asking.
If they want, proactive. Look, activism is the way to action. Okay? If we're active in the community, we'll get action. But if we're inactive, we're not going to get nothing's going to come out of it. So it's up to us, the community, to assist the police and the sheriff, have community meetings at the top of the trailhead with the sheriff. Share some of the ideas and some of the thoughts from the community. Get the community more involved with what the sheriff's trying to accomplish.
Right.
You know what I mean? Have us work together. Instead of,
I agree.
A lot of good things could come out of this.
Right.
A lot of good things are coming out of this, and they're going to continue. They really are. We just need to heal. This is Johhny's Facebook page. And if you'd like to go, help him out, be friends with him, check out what he does, you will be amazed. I'm telling you, the pictures themselves are awesome. Tell Johhny, good gravy. We'll just message you. We'll be, and you'll be able to figure out what his name is when you see him. He just messaged you on Facebook. He's a great guy.
Come across as soon as you put that up on the screen. So I think
Right.
that was him that just sent me that friend request.
Linda says every community needs a Johhny BlackHawk. Amen. Yes. If more
Definitely.
people need to think and act like Johhny and his beautiful family, I agree.
Mhm.
He's in our Facebook wheel. He's already in the Decipher Facebook. So he's in there. Yay. Mallory texted. I think Mallory's added you as a friend. So you're about to get inundated with some new friends.
Yep, and they can go on my page and see what I do for the missing and murdered Indigenous women
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
That's
he's
right.
been
So
involved with
everybody,
that for the
you know,
last so many years.
I'm part of the MMIW Memorial Grove on the East Coast, missing and murdered Indigenous women. Where at our powwows we hang red dresses, pictures of the women, to honor them, to give them a voice.
Right.
Because their voice is no longer heard. So we have to be the voice of these women that have passed to make matters right, to make this stop.
Yeah.
That's right.
Raising awareness is key to activism, and activism is the key to action.
I love that. And like I said, they said every community needs a Johhny. I would love to help get the word out for, look at this. Look at this. Mallory coming in clutch.
Coming
That
out
would
hard.
be awesome.
We could do another feed on that.
Yeah.
Go
we
on
could
Mallory's. Yep. Go
Never-
on Mallory's and talk about that stuff. That would be amazing.
right.
Because they don't get the recognition that
No,
they deserve.
and they're 97% more likely to be raped and abducted than any other culture. Because they're so far out in the middle of nowhere. They're so far out in the middle of nowhere that they don't get reported. They don't get the coverage they need. And it takes months and months and months to even locate them.
Yeah.
And I just heard a couple reports where women up in Canada are being dumped in landfills.
Oh.
Well, there was a case, Samantha Fiddler from Canada, who she was dating a wrestler in Florida and disappeared after she left. I mean, literally vanished into thin air after she left a police station. And her sister, we've talked to her back in December. And we need to get back on that case as well and see if her sister wants our assistance in getting that case out. What a beautiful girl Samantha Fiddler is as well. And that case needs attention. There's a gazillion. Yeah, it is. You'll, as soon as you text or as soon as you Google Samantha Fiddler, you'll see her come up, and her boyfriend. Actually, I think there's a documentary on her boyfriend.
Is there 1D or 2D in Fiddler?
2, and her boyfriend, I can't remember what his name is, but he's from. Did you guys ever watch wrestling like back in the 90s? Do you remember the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and
Hart?
Yes. This is their nephew that supposedly did something. Yep. Look it up. It'll hurt your heart, but I know it'll give you motivation. It motivates you. So you guys can watch that one. But yeah.
My compassion for my people on the earth is what motivates me.
Right.
Bringing all 7 colors of the rainbow together under one sun as one tribe.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We all need to sit down and break bread together,
That's right.
and learn from each other.
Right. It does not matter what color of your skin.
Nope.
Or where you're from or how much money you make. That should not be an issue.
Right.
I agree.
Right. People are people. People are people, and they're all human beings. We need to
stop and respect and look around. It's amazing. Ava, I love that you put this in.
No.
I love that.
That's that feather again.
I know that. I'm telling you that. What did I say? You're being led. You are being led. You're being led. All right, you guys. We'll go have a fantastic evening, and thank you so much for joining us. And
Y'all.
I can't wait to watch you on Mallory's, but I'm going to have you back again, a million times. This is your home too. And I know you're going to make another home at Mallory's because she's just fantastic. She's lovely.
Definitely get together and do that live though down the trail.
We'll
Let's do
figure
that.
Sooner
it
than later to get the awareness out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
out. Yeah.
Yep.
All
I would love
right.
it. All right, you guys,
Thank
have
y'all
a
so
great
much.
evening. Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone, for joining us. Thank you to Crime Sleuthin for your amazing donation and your support, each and every one of you. Every time you hit the like button, it's supporting us. And I want to advise everyone, please, to go to your favorite creator, whoever that might be. Hit a like on a bunch of their videos. Leave a nice comment. Be supportive to each other and be kind. Where's my comment? I'm looking, Delana. I can't find my closing comment. You're about to get fired. Delana, did I miss it already?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Delana can get fired. She'd have to fire me, by the way.
Oh,
Where is it? She knows what I'm talking about. Oh, Ava says thank you to Johhny and Margot. You guys, thank you so much.
no problem.
I'm stalling, so Delana puts my message up because I like to leave that last. And she's busy. I'm sorry. So everyone stay blessed. That's what she likes to say. Stay blessed. And that's what I always like to. There it is. I felt weird ending it. Stay blessed, y'all.
And my saying is stay spiritual, stay strong.
Yep.
Relatives, stay spiritual, stay strong.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Delana. Stay spiritual, stay strong. We're going to adopt that one too. We're going to adopt that one too. Thank you guys again. Thanks, LFT. I know this was super frustrating for you.
Empowering the community.
Thank y'all so much.
Well, good
So
night.
much, y'all. I appreciate it.
You guys have a blessed evening, everybody. Thanks for everything. Thanks for your support and donation. It is greatly appreciated.
Yes,
Thank
it
you
is.
so much, you guys. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.